everybody, and welcome back to Variety Vibes Podcast. I'm just doing a little update video showing you guys that, I'm trying to get everything together. Hopefully here soon we'll be in a studio. That's what we're working for right now. Through the help with you guys subscribing and liking and sharing the videos, you guys are making all this possible. Trying to learn this new equipment. This is all new to me and the other host that we have on the show. So I'm just trying to do this solo today and see what happens. So bear with me, guys. As everybody knows, I'm sure, this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm going to break down my story a little bit just to give you guys a feel for who I am. So we're going to start it out. I hate to start on a bad note, but we're going to start it out from the beginning, as far as I can remember the beginning. It all started, I was 6 years old. It is my 6th birthday party. I turned 6 on November 1st. This was November 4th. Having a birthday party and everybody's having a good time, and lo and behold, my dad overdoses in his bedroom, and me and my sister ended up walking in and finding him there, and he did not survive that overdose, which hurt in a lot of ways, but I was a young kid, so I didn't really understand what was going on. It hit me a little bit further on in life. So from the age 6 to age 9, I don't really remember much, but at the age of 9, I started smoking weed and drinking with my dad's side of the family, and from there, that's when I start remembering everything, because that's when a lot of bad stuff started happening. Not all bad. It didn't seem bad at the time. I had a lot of fun, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So from the age of 9, just being around bad influence. I hate to speak on people, but that's, at the end of the day, it was bad influence. You don't give drugs and alcohol to a 9-year-old kid. It started from there. It's pretty much let's see how drunk or how high we can get Steve's son. Steve is also my dad's name. People call me Trey because I'm the third Steven. So that's where we get Trey. But so it pretty much turned into a let's see who can get Steve's son more fucked up. And that went on for a long time. But once I turned 13, I was out of the house, doing my own thing. And with that came making grown up decisions as a child, which I don't recommend for anybody, because you're not mentally capable to make those decisions as a child. Again, just me and my cousin, I love him to death. He actually ended up having a stroke a couple years back, and since then we haven't been as close as we once were, and a lot of that, I have regrets on my end. I don't really know how he feels on his end, but we kind of just separated, and it hurts. It sucks not being able to see my brother like I want. So Chris, if you're listening or watching this, I miss you, bro, and I love you. But going back 13, 10, coming up in my adolescent years, just didn't really know where to go. Didn't really know who to turn to. Didn't have a father figure to look up to, and I chose what made me feel good at the time, which was drugs and alcohol. Never really was a drinker up until I was 18, though. But from 18 to 24, where I'm sitting today, I was a major alcoholic. I'm talking half gallon of Parmesan and a couple 3-packs of Natty Daddies until I passed out every single day for years. Up until the point I didn't have a house for many years. I was living in abandoned houses for many years, living in my cars for many years. And that's just not a life that I recommend for anybody. I don't care who. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Made it through it and made good times out of it, but I would not wish that life upon my worst enemy. Not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. Not even worried about having a meal that night, to be honest with you. Worried about where your next bottle's coming from more than you're worried about where your next meal's coming from. That's how bad it was. Um, Delivering pizza out of a raggedy car, just trying to get beer money. Um, Makes you, like, it doesn't really help, you know. I was depressed and I'm diagnosed with PTSD from God knows what. I've been stabbed 5 times. Just a life of bad decisions equaled a bad person. I hate this. I didn't look at myself as a bad guy at the time, but I was. And I'm so happy that I'm not that person anymore. Um, and a lot of people, you talk about men's mental health and it goes one ear out the other. But a woman starts talking about, their mental health and their issues, and everybody feels like they got to jump on that ship and, be right behind them and stand on that and support them. You don't really get that same feeling when you're a man. Um, Everything's kind of on your shoulders, and not many people even care to ask how a man's doing. How are you doing? And most men see it as taboo. Don't ask me how I'm doing. That's, I don't talk about stuff like that. That's not manly of me to sit here and go through my problems with another man. I'll be the first one to tell you I was the same way up until I went to rehab. And rehab saved my life in many ways. One of those ways, majorly, being getting me off the alcohol. But it saved me in a lot of other ways, as far as being able to have the self-control that I need to get back out here and get my life together and not make the same bad decisions, and gave me time to reflect on said decisions. And I've spent time in the county jail. I thank God that I never wound up in prison. And I say that because I'm not a bad guy. Like, I'm a yes man to a point. I'll do anything to make people happy. But in turn, that leaves me fighting for myself a lot of the time. Nobody's there to make me happy. And I don't look for it. I don't look for my happiness in other people anymore. I don't look for my happiness at the bottom of a bottle anymore. I don't look for my happiness in other ways. I look at my happiness as I woke up this morning. I'm able to still be here and change anything I can do today, such as this podcast. I can point somebody in the right direction. I can help somebody out if they're down. So that's why I'm doing this. So where are we at? Dad passes away. Start drinking at the age of 9. Drop out of high school in the 12th grade. I needed 2 science credits left, but I was more worried about going to work and getting money to purchase said alcohol and said drugs, weed, etc. So the main thing I'm really trying to focus on here is we've all made mistakes. Don't let the mistakes that you've made define your future. It's never too late to stand up and take your life back. It's never too late. You might have people that won't like you for years and years. They might never like you again. But it doesn't change the fact that you're a changed person. If you actually live by those standards and set those standards for yourself, don't do it for anybody else. Make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Make sure you're doing it for you. There's a lot. I've been in psych wards. I've been in jail, county jail. Just many, many things that I don't think would have ever happened had I not picked up a bottle. And it took a lot for me to understand that. It took a lot for me to even know what my traumas are. And it takes a lot every single day to get up and fight the demons that I fight. And I feel that it's that way for a lot of men. And I'm sure if my dad was here and we're sitting here talking about men's mental health awareness, you know what I'm saying? He's born in a different time. He's not going to understand it. So just like many of your fathers or many of your older people that you know, older men, they look at you as a soft individual for talking about your feelings. But I guarantee you, when they're laying there and they're, telling you bits and pieces of their life that's past trauma that they don't even realize they're talking about. They don't even realize that they're discussing it. But when you put a name on it and you categorize this men's mental health, now it's a problem. Now people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to be subject to that stigma behind the mental health awareness. And that leads to a lot of people feeling like they have no life. It leads to a lot of people feeling like they're not worth it. They're not worth being here. And I promise you, if you're watching this video right now, you are worth it. And it is worth you being here. And I wish I had somebody back then to say that to me. I wish I had that person in my life that would have grabbed me by the hand and said, no, you don't need to be sitting here at 9 years old. Which, as a kid, I hid it. I didn't let nobody know. It's not my mom's fault. It's not anybody else's fault. I took the drug. I drank the alcohol. I chose to continue doing so. So it's nobody else's fault. I don't put that blame on anybody. Um, I just, I hope that with the culture change and the world as a group kind of shifting, that we can get some of this, the suicide rate down. We can get some of these men help, some of these, veterans help, even if it's a little bit of help. These people need something to help with the depression. They need something to help with the anxiety. They need something to help with not loving themselves. And in turn, you can't have anybody love you if you do not love yourself. You're not giving them anything to love because you don't love yourself. But off that topic, I'm going to go ahead and move on because I can't really talk about that a whole bunch longer. Yeah, so we're me, my cousin Jason. You'll see him on the next episode. My cousin John. You'll see him eventually in the process of doing these podcasts. Um, we're just trying to group together and put everything we can into this to see where it goes and see who we can help. And in turn, it all comes full circle, I feel. Just like karma, you do enough good, your life would be as bad, I feel. But I don't do it for that reason. I don't do it looking for something to come back to me. I just do it because it makes me feel better. My cousin Jason, he's a truck driver. You'll get to know that as this story unfolds. He drives a semi for a living, but he came from a bad past also. He had a rough patch in his life. But he's on the other side of that now. Still struggling, but we're on the other side. My cousin John, he's done prison time. He's still currently a drinker and everything, but I can still, me and him have enough respect for each other to know when we are able to hang out and everything like that, when we should do it. And I'm thankful for that also. I'm thankful I didn't have to get out of rehab and lose one of my friends at the time, somebody that I needed by my side. Just wanted to show you guys where we're at. Here, like I said, here in the next month or two, we'll be in a studio. We've been working on equipment. As you can see, we have our mics, we have our mixers, we have what we need so far. This logo behind me will be a sign by the next time you see me, hopefully. So we're really trying to grow and we're really trying to build this up. Like I said, if you guys can please just give it a follow, see where we're going. If you don't like where we're heading, let us know. Or feel free to unsubscribe. Just give us a shot, is all I'm trying to say, I guess. Uh, we're just a bunch of guys. We chit chat about sports. We chit chat about everyday life. Um, just really, sorry about that, guys. Just really, sitting back and just talking about our life. I feel like it's a therapy between people that don't have to go to a group and sit in a circle with people they don't know. I feel like we're trying to kind of do that on our own hands, which I'm not sure if John or Jason have done therapy, but I've done certain things along the process of getting sober, and even being an alcoholic. I was in psych ward, learned a lot about different things, different tools. It's all just tools I'm adding to my bag. And that's why I say I have no regrets in my life. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, it was a learning experience, and I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for those some mistakes, some opportunities. I wouldn't be Trey. I wouldn't be here as me talking to you if it wasn't for all that. So I'm really thankful that I even have the opportunity to still be here talking to you. Yeah. So really just wanted to get on here, give you guys an update. So this is Variety Vibes Podcast. I'm your co-host Trey. I'll be on here next time with co-host Jason and John. Go ahead and give us a like, follow, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.